Hello, welcome to Delhi Law Firm. Today we are going to discuss in detail a very important legal judgment that clearly highlights the intricacies of adoption law. This case is Raju versus Kalan Kanade, where the Madhya Pradesh High Court Indore bench delivered a decision that gave new direction to understanding the validity of adoption, its legal requirements, and the importance of evidence. In this detailed conversation, we will understand the entire judgment like a story in simple language, so that common people as well as law students can easily grasp its depth.
This judgment is especially significant because adoption-related disputes are rapidly increasing in India. Many people claim adoption without performing the required rituals, without the wife's consent, and without following the proper legal process. Because of this, the relevance of this judgment becomes even stronger. This case shows how seriously the courts examine the truth of such claims. So, let's begin by understanding the background of this dispute.
This story begins with an elderly woman named Kalan Kanade who owned a small house. This house was built through the hard work of her late husband, Tukaran. After his death, she lived alone. During this time, a young man named Raju began living in her house. Raju claimed that Kalanbai and Tukaram had adopted him when he was a child. But Kalan Kanade completely denied this. She said, Raju did stay with us for some years, but he was never our adopted son. This is where the dispute begins.
Raju told the court that he had been adopted through customary rituals at the age of 6 or 7, and later in 2006, a registered adoption deed was executed. On the other side, Kalan Kanade claimed that all of this was false. Neither was any adoption performed, nor had she ever given consent on any document. The court had to answer important questions. Was Raju really an adopted son? Is the adoption deed valid? Does Raju have the right to stay in the house and claim ownership, or is this entire claim fabricated?
Now let's talk about the law. According to Section 7 of the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, HAMA, a Hindu male can adopt only with the clear consent of his wife. If the wife is alive and her consent is not taken, the adoption is invalid. Section 11 sets another mandatory condition, the giving and taking ceremony, where the child must actually be handed over from the natural parents to the adoptive parents. This ceremony is considered the heart of adoption.
Now the question is, did Raju provide any proof of such a ceremony? The court found that he did not. Raju produced no witness who could firmly describe the ceremony, no photographs, no documents, no religious evidence. He produced one witness called DW3, who claimed to have seen the ceremony. But his testimony was full of contradictions and the court found him unreliable. As a result, the ceremony of adoption was not proven at all.
Now let's come to the registered adoption deed of 2006. This was Raju's biggest hope. But the court found that this deed actually went against his claim. The deed explicitly stated, today, on 4/7/2006, the adoption is being performed. This means the adoption took place on that date, while Raju claimed that he had been adopted in childhood. This is the first contradiction. The second and the most important was that the wife Kalanbai had not given her consent. This single fact is enough to invalidate the adoption.
The court also noted another crucial point. Raju was around 22 years old at that time. Even an adult can be adopted, but in such cases, consent, ceremony, and documentation must all be absolutely clear and precise. Here, the consent was missing, the ceremony was not proven, and the documentation was contradictory. Therefore, the court concluded that this deed was merely a formal paper, not actual proof of adoption.
The judgment also referred to several significant Supreme Court rulings, such as in the cases of Kishori Lal, Lakshman Singh Kothari, Ghisa Lal, and Rahasa Pandyani. In all these cases, the court has repeatedly held that adoption is a serious legal act that completely alters the natural course of inheritance. Hence, adoption claims must be proven beyond doubt. The court also noted that fake adoption claims are often made to seize property, and therefore, courts must remain extremely cautious.
The court found multiple suspicious factors in Raju's claim. First, if he was adopted in childhood, why was a new deed made in 2006? Second, why was there no mention of the childhood adoption in the deed? Third, why was the wife's consent not taken? Fourth, why was there no direct proof of rituals? Fifth, the witness was weak and contradictory. Sixth, the documents were created after the alleged adoption. All these doubts were so serious that the court found the adoption claim entirely unbelievable.
Now let's talk about the counterclaim where Raju alleged that the lower courts didn't consider his arguments. But the High Court clearly stated that both the trial court and the appellate court had evaluated every part of his counterclaim, documents, witnesses, and the adoption deed. So the allegation that his counterclaim was ignored was completely incorrect.
Finally, the High Court said that this case does not raise any substantial question of law. This means that the findings of the lower courts were based on proper evaluation of evidence, and there was no legal error. Based on this, the High Court dismissed Raju's appeal and upheld Kalan Kanade's rights.
This judgment not only resolves this dispute but also gives an important message to society. Adoption cannot be proven merely through a paper. Real ceremonies, the wife's consent, and strict adherence to legal provisions are essential. This decision also confirms that courts always act with sensitivity and ensure that no vulnerable person suffers because of false legal claims.
If you too need legal assistance in family disputes, adoption matters, property disputes, or any civil criminal case, Delhi Law Firm is always available for you. We handle cases across India. For more information, visit our website www.delhilawfirm.news.
Thank you. Contact us, take legal advice, and stay connected with Delhi Law Firm to protect your legal rights.